If I go exceed your expectations, please refer me 3 clients. I invest my marketing dollars into the relationship. You could do things together as you start building your team. They could come in with absolutely no money and come away with a home.
So our topic is going to be really good. I mean, we're going from agent to CEO. And the one great thing about this topic is you got to change your mindset. This is where your business could really bloom. So I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to go fast because I got a lot of material to cover. I'm going to keep this under 30 minutes. So thank you for coming on. Bear with me and please take some notes. So anyways, before we get started, my name is Jeffrey DeJesus. I'm a Bay Area realtor, been in the business for over 20 years. I'm active, I'm selling, I'm doing what everybody else does. But I'm also building an organization. I'm building a business at the same time. When I say building a business, that is the exact topic that I'll be talking about, going from agent and having the right mindset as a CEO. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Stop building a career that depends on you and start building a business that grows beyond you. And ever since I got into business, whether it was, so whether it was, my clicker just went out. Okay, it's fine. So whether it was a real estate business or a VA, a loan business, and other businesses, plumbing business, I always thought beyond myself. How can I walk away from this? And so I'll give you some tips on how to think about your business. And why does this matter? Because most agents treat this as a job and not a business. If you stop working, your income stops, right? And that's one of the reasons why I like the brokerage I'm with, is because of the business model. It gives different opportunities to create income, which I've done very successfully. And so, when you're an agent and you think like an agent, when going on vacation, you sometimes get anxiety because you got like, oh, what's going to happen to my escrow? What's going to happen to my deal? What's going to happen to my customers if I'm on vacation? I mean, and some vacations, 2 weeks, a month sometimes if you're going out of the country. So every transaction requires your direct involvement. Growth creates more stress and not more freedom. What happens to your income if you take off for 90 days, right? A CEO builds a business that continues to grow even when you're not working every hour, okay? So CEOs think like a CEO, and that's what I want you to do. I want you to correct that mindset. So agents, they focus on today's deal. They do everything. That's why getting a VA really helps you think like a CEO. You're investing in a VA. And if you like somebody that's sitting beside you, get a personal assistant, right? If you got a personal assistant right beside you, let's say they'll cost you 50 grand a year. I'm just throwing a number. It should cost around 30, 35, but let's just say 50 grand. So that means that assistant can't get you what, if you're in the Bay Area, like in San Francisco, that assistant can't get you more than one deal a year. I mean, that's how I look at it, right? You have one assistant, they got to at least produce X amount of money to keep them because it's an investment. So anyways, we'll get back to that. Agents, they have to solve their daily problems. They think transaction to transactions. Well, CEOs, they focus on long-term growth. They build systems and they delegate. And that's what I'm talking about, delegating your business. They create long-term solutions and they think business to business. The moment you start thinking like a CEO and stop asking, what do I need to do today? And start asking, what should my business be doing consistently? So that's the change in the mindset. The identity shift. Well, stop thinking, how can I close more deals? And you want to start thinking, how can I build a business that consistently closes more deals. The big difference isn't skill, it's all about mindset. Okay? And this is just really mindset. And everything I go into, I think like a CEO. And of course, you as an agent, you're an independent contractor. You are there making your own decisions, how you do your daily task and what you do every day. And it's up to you. No one's telling you what to do. And that's why sometimes having spending for a coach and being accountable, it really helps. It really truly helps because you're accountable to that individual. And that coach will just help guide you stay on track. And investing 500, $1,000 a month on a coach is well worth it, especially if you're in a area like the Bay Area in California. It's well worth it because they keep you on track. And then that skill, that regular schedule, that accountability to yourself really helps you get on track. I mean, that's why going to Tom Ferry, going to Brian Buffini, attending meetings like this, because you're going to be motivated to make your business better. And yes, we need motivation every day. We need motivation. And if you want to call it motivational speaking, well, if you need it, then yes, I like it. I mean, the funny thing is that we hear it, we know it, we hear it over and over and over. But guess what? We need to hear it over and over and over. I mean, Tom Ferry says almost the same thing as Brian Buffini, and they say the same thing as Tony Robbins, et cetera, et cetera. All the coaches are saying almost the same thing. Yes, some of them will have some of the newest, latest strategies that they get from masterminds because they're talking with people all day and they'll share it with you. And that's a good thing, right? But the core of it is all the same. But that's where value is. That's why when you come on here on Mondays, because it's free, you're just, oh yeah, that was good. Okay. Thanks, Jeff. But if I charge you for this, let's say if I charge you $5, like Jeff was just talking about CEO stuff and making a good mindset. But if I charge you $1,000 to get on here, you're gonna be like, where's my pen and paper? Right? And you'll put more value to it. And so when I go into meetings to change my mindset, I always say to myself, if I could get one thing out of this meeting, that could make me $1,000,000. And I'm always open-minded. If I hear the same thing, that just reinforces my my resolve, my determination. Anyways, let's get back to here. Think like a business owner. As CEO, your role is to lead. Have vision for yourself, have good marketing. Think about your client experience, systems, finances, team growth. Your goal isn't to do everything. Your goal is to make sure everything gets done. Okay. I always make sure everything gets done. I got so many hats I'm wearing, but I just make sure things are done. So work on your business. Okay. Instead of spending 100% of your time selling, dedicated time each week to improving your business. So that's where you want. You want to improve your business. So some of the examples where you can improve is your CRM, build good follow-up systems, create good marketing content, make tweaks. Think about it every week. Review your business numbers. Like, okay, let's say you don't have any sales or your business numbers are like, what business numbers? Well, if you just have like something as simple as this, or even something as simple as a notepad and pen and paper like this, that's your business numbers. And if you could literally just mark your notepad on how many calls, you will improve your business. Okay. It's just really that simple. But I know a lot of you aren't tracking. And yeah, there's nothing to track, but let's just say your goal is to make 5 calls a day or 5 contacts. And you could even just hide behind the texts. Your business will grow. But I know a lot of you aren't doing it. So always plan for the future, because let's say your goal is just as simple as 5. You're going to review your business numbers, and it's only 5 a day, right? But you did it every day. 5, 5, 5, 5. At the end of the week, you have 25. And then at the end of the week, you're just going to look at out of those 25, how can I improve? Who out of the 25 actually I had a conversation, a good conversation about real estate? Then the next week, 5, 5, 5. At the end of the week, you have another 25, right? And I use it out of the 25, who was the best contact? And you build around that. You did that third week, 5 on Monday, 5 on Tuesday, and then the end of the third week, you have 75 out of what? One out of 75. And then you did a fourth week, and then that's another 25. So out of 100 in 1 month, you should be able to have good 4 solid people in that conversation pool. And out of the 4, you should be able to close 1. I mean, if you kept it that simple, right? And don't divert from it. You could do 5 in like 30 minutes. So you could work 30 minutes a day in your business and literally kill it. Because I mean, if you're from the San Francisco Bay Area and real estate is going bonkers out there, and with AI coming in, AMD, Nvidia, real estate is going to go crazy. And it's a great place to be when you're in a market like the Bay Area, San Francisco Peninsula, Silicon Valley, because prices are going to quadruple. Okay. So imagine that if prices even double in the next 5 years, and they say it's going to quadruple, let's say it doubles because of the AI gold rush. That means each commission now from 20,000 goes to 40,000 per sale. Okay, let's say you just are not the best at your business, but you sell 2 homes a year. Wow, you're almost at a 6-figure, because of $2 million average, that's $25,000 per commission. That's 50,000. That's a 6-figure income selling 2 homes a year. Okay, so don't quit, just keep going. All right, so the 80-20 rule for CEOs. What actually makes you money? Well, usually lead generation, follow-up, appointments, negotiations, and relationships. So what I talked about earlier, 5 a day, and I'm just keeping it simple, is, I mean, you're just doing follow-ups, you're doing lead generation, you're making appointments, you're just texting people, calling people, that's it. 5. So what consumes your time? Well, email, scheduling, paperwork, social media, MLS input coordination. Well, the CEO usually, because if you're not, if you're the one doing the work, then, because that's your business. If you're not delegating, then you're doing the work. So that's why it's important to protect your time, because your CEO time is usually worth around $500 an hour. So if you think like that, then your business will grow. And let's just say that the email, paperwork, social media, if you had your assistant do it, you see, then you're not doing it, but it has to be done, because your value of your time is much more than doing email, scheduling, paperwork. That's why it's important to get an assistant. All right, systems create freedom. Okay, every repeat task should become a system, like listings, that checklist, buyer onboarding, open house process, follow-up sequence, client appreciation plan. So you should have a system for all these. Systems, they document steps anyone could follow. So you could give this to your assistant. A business scales through consistency, not talent. Leadership starts with you. Leadership isn't about having a team, it's about creating a direction. Great leader, they communicate clearly. So when you're communicating with your buyer, your seller, communicate effectively and stay consistent, right? don't ever pass up. If you know you got to call somebody and it's 6 p.m. at night, and then you start talking to yourself and said, "Oh, I don't want to bother them during dinner." That's the wrong mindset. Oh, I don't want to call them. It's 6 o'clock. They're probably with the kids. I'll just call them tomorrow. So let's not get there. So let's make sure that you fix that mindset because you got to stay consistent. Make decisions. Okay, make good decisions. Inspire others. Continue learning. People follow leaders, not titles. Think beyond commissions. Commissions are income. Assets create freedom. Build assets that work even when you're not working. Like in our business, an email database. It's important. Yeah, let's say you only have 100 people on your list. Well, that's 100 people that is getting your email regularly, that you're, that you could reach out with the push of a button. YouTube channel, Facebook group, create a Facebook group. I mean, if you're part of groups and you say, I wish there was a group that was, talking about gardening or talking about whatever it is that your beliefs are, then you should create your own group. And even if it's only 10, then be 20, then there'll be 30. Not sure if you noticed that the Facebook algorithm, if you're on Facebook, has changed. It's actually more powerful than ever today. Because I noticed that a lot of the things that I'm seeing are from other people rather than my group. And that they changed the algorithm a little bit. But anyways, let's move on here. Create a referral network, team systems, agent attraction organization, investment properties. So you got to ask, what asset did I build this month that will pay me in the next 5 years? Right? I mean, if you're with a company called, like I am with EXP, talk to agents. Go out there on the weekends. On Sundays, take a look at some homes. At the same time, talk to the agents at the open house. And bring them onto EXP because it pays very well on the revenue share. So create your 3-year vision. Ask yourself, how many homes do I want to sell? Do I want a team? How many hours do I want to work? What lifestyles do I want? What legacy do I want to leave? Your business should support your life, not control it. Okay? So from agent to CEO, the goal is not to hustle more or work more hours or be more chaos, because the more business you have, the more chaos there is. It's stressful. Unless if you build a business and it's not as stressful because you're not dependent on that one closing. I always said if you have 10 escrows, 10 in escrow, and all 10 is not going to fall out no matter what the market is. That's why it's just important to have the right mindset. If I have 10 in escrow, meaning they're in contract, all 10 will not fall out of escrow. At least it better not. Because if it is, then you're doing something wrong. But let's say even 8 fell out of contract, you still have 2 closings that month. Okay, so change that mindset. The goal is more leverage, better systems, stronger leadership, long-term wealth. So in closing, your future business is built by the decisions you make when nobody is forcing you to think like a CEO. Okay, so, well, with that being said, I just want to add one more thing to this. Sorry, give me a second here. Well, anyways, I just want to end right there. Just want to thank you for coming on today. I appreciate all of you, and we will talk again next week.